Moni, first of all, thank you so much.
It was a pleasure.
That was a lot of fun doing that DVD. But I think probably be a good idea to tell everyone who's going to be purchasing this DVD what was the purpose.
Well, those who are purchasing the DVD already purchased the DVD because of watching the DVD, right? But the purpose of those DVDs were to bring people to things that really happen to them. I mean, everybody going to a club, everybody have a home, almost everybody has a car, so, you know, every day you can read in the newspaper, hear on TV, people who've been robbed, killed by making the wrong choices. And this DVD is all about close quarter. And really, when it's come down and dirty, it's all about very close quarter fighting. And close quarter fighting is something that I've always been very comfortable with because of my background. You know, I was training in judo and jiu-jitsu, and I was champion 7 times. And for me, being close to somebody and fight close is always been very comfortable. But what I add to these DVDs is all the tactics that even if you're not so strong, you can definitely do it fast and the most efficient way. As we demonstrate on the DVD, we chose some of the guys that were the smallest one as a CKM instructors, and they definitely show that they can do the move. And it was not just for the movie, it was overall something that happened in reality when we train hard under pressure. And this is the whole idea of Commando Krav Maga. Commando Krav Maga is about simplicity. We, as you know, we say simplicity is genius. And the reason for that is under stress, the only thing that's really working is a simple thing. Nothing complicated will work for you. If it's more than 2 moves, you won't be able to do it. So we simplifies everything in our system, but don't fool yourself. The simplicity is like looking at the clock. You're looking at the clock, you see 2 parts of moving. One shows the hour, the other one shows the minutes. However, if you flip the clock to the other side and open it, you see how many parts are moving. That's biomechanics, the understanding of fighting, the tactics, everything is in those little pieces. But we simplify it for the people, so people who are learning those systems can easily do the move.
Right, and that's the principle of CKM. It's for everyone. It doesn't matter strength or size. I remember you're telling me that there's a lot of things I can do because I'm stronger, but I have to imagine my wife, who's only 120 pounds, can do it. And that's what really brought me to really love the CKM. But I also noticed this time when you did the video, you made it much more technical, much more in detail than the other videos we've done in the past.
It's a good observation. The other DVDs that I did so far were also very technical, but without showing into depth how to do the moves. And the reason for that is we wanted to show many samples of things that we have. In this one, I took less technique, but each technique I was taking you like a private lesson. I'm taking the student, the person at home, and showing him exactly how to do the move, exactly what kind of mistakes he's going to face, and how to correct the mistakes, and what kind of drills to do to be out of the mistakes. And we found that this format is excellent format to also illustrate that Commando Krav Maga is extremely technical system and not require a lot of strength. So, Combat Survival is the umbrella organization that have 5 components. One is a Commando Krav Maga, which I'm going to briefly explain at the end. Just first give the branches. Then we have the women CKM, which is a women Commando Krav Maga. Then we have the children Commando Krav Maga, which is called the WIN program. Then we have the law enforcement, and then we have the elite combat fitness. Commando Krav Maga is a system that's been evolved from the Krav Maga. I simply work, and as you know, I'm working very hard, almost daily, all my life, to see how I can make the techniques simple and easier. And everybody that looking at Commando Krav Maga today see the difference between our system and the old system. I'm not saying that we are better, we just change and improve and evolve to a point that every person can do it. And it's not requiring any strengths. As other systems, sometimes working a lot of strengths, and also it's all about overpowering, and we don't work that way. We're just working on a street principle, and sometimes if the best idea is to be able to strike and escape or catch strike and escape, we will do that. Because in reality, this is what you're going to do.
No, I agree. I notice also other systems, they're very traditional, and they don't want to change. They don't, they want respect of the grandmaster, and this is how he did it. But that was a different time. The world always evolves, new kind of weapons, new kind of attacks, and I think that's why I believe, personally myself, why I think the CKM, the Commando Krav Maga, or the whole system is the best, because I always notice you're evolving. What I learned 4 or 5 years ago has changed already, and it's better than what I learned the first time, and easier. So, and it keeps happening like that. So I find that to be like one of the most important
and refreshing
aspects. Yeah.
I say a few things. First of all, we don't have masters in our system. Everybody is a student. I myself a student, and one of the reasons for me to consider myself a student is as soon as you think that you're a grandmaster, you stop learning. And I learn every day, and I learn from my students, I learn from my instructors, I learn from any person that I can learn. And this is one thing that I do all the time. About the evolve, it's amazing, because every time I come with the techniques to the students or to my instructors and I show them the techniques, they say, wow, this is amazing. And then 2 months after, I'm coming with even better technique. They look at that, they say, wow, it's great. How come we didn't think about it? And the point is, it's very hard to let go with the old one because you like it, but the new one even making more sense to you. So we don't just change constantly. Sometimes it's the same principle, but a little variation will make it even faster in reality, or easier to remember in reality. And I found that this evolve is extremely important for the modern reality-based system. Back to the description, because I just started to describe Commando Krav Maga. So Commando Krav Maga is basically a best way for any person to be able to protect himself under stress. In all our system, we practice under stress. There's a lot of disciplines or system that's showing you a very complicated move that if you really try to do it under stress, and I will put this guy in stress, he won't be able to perform anything. Or maybe beside his masters that be able to do it. But in our system, if the only master can do it and the students cannot do it, it's not good. I need everybody to be able to do it. This is the reason that our, Commando Krav Maga boot camps and the other boot camps bring people to understand how much they can really achieve in such a short time, which I'm going to describe a bit later.
I think that brings the elite combat fitness in from what you're describing, because people think you can just go and learn techniques and stuff, but I don't believe they understand the cardio you need for it. Even when you're fresh, as soon as you get attacked, your cardio's down 50%. Just from the fear and everything. So I think it might be a good point to put about exactly why you came up with Elite Combat Fitness.
Well, Elite Combat Fitness is it's basically a combination of all the knowledge that I accumulate as somebody who was himself champion and trained champions. Students of mine become Olympic silver medalist and world champion in the UFC, the Ultimate Fighting Championship. Plus the military that I have. So I put together a system that I myself working out. And it's one of the best way to keep in shape, but it's a type of shape that not just make you big and bulky, it will make you explosive and be able to operate in your real life under, basically supplement the Commando Krav Maga.
Functional.
It's functional because you can actually do the move, full speed, full power, explosive for long terms and so on. But you don't train Elite Combat Fitness only for the boot camps. You train it for life. And if you take it for life, it's one of the best way, because you don't really have to spend more than 45 minutes 4 or 5 times a week to be in shape. And it's very interesting. So Elite Combat Fitness is another aspect that many people love. Then we have the women Commando Krav Maga, which is another system. It's a great system that we developed. It's totally different than the Commando Krav Maga. In principle, it's all about being very efficient. But women need more than that. They need to know how to avoid and how to prevent and what to do and what not to do. So we're dealing specifically what women need, including kidnap situation,
be aware,
rape,
yes.
how to approach your car at night, what to do when you come to home. Everything is very important, and the people who are going to become a women CKM instructor going completely different type of training. It's a lot of knowledge, a lot of speech that they have to teach the students, and it's going fantastic. The Win is a new program. The Win is the children program that we have for kids from 4 years old to 13 years old. And this is probably the first reality-based system for kids. No more, kids wearing traditional karate uniform. We live in the Western society, and they learn how to defend themselves in most realistic way against people who might try to kidnap them or bullies at school in a way that is also going to be, from school point of view, the proper way to do it.
It's much worse these days. When we were kids, when I was a kid, you had to worry about maybe a kid punching you or grabbing you. And, now if you read in the papers, it's like 5-6 kids and they throw you to the ground, they beat you, they kick you in the head, they're stabbing each other. I mean, 13-year-old girl just died, just some 8-year-old kid had a gun. I mean, it's crazy.
Well, Ilan, you're still a kid. That's between us. But yeah, it's true. I mean, the violence school, it's incredible, and the kids learning how to deal with bullies and how to survive. But also, it's a lot of fun. Kids learn the most out of games. So we do amazing different drills. We don't call it games; it's type of drills. And we have, we build a great cardio, stamina, coordination, balance. We actually build people to become great in reality-based system in the future. So the WIN program has many rewards for the kids, but it's probably one of the best way for every parent to put his kids in this program or come himself for self-improvement and do the program. And talking about self-improvement, many people coming to our courses, not necessarily with a reason to become an instructor. Some do, some not. But those who coming to self-improvement just want to improve. And sometimes it's very professional people. We have doctors, lawyers, plumbers. It doesn't matter. They're coming to the courses because they usually don't have the luxury of going to a club 3 times a week and train. And they learn so much in 4 intensive days, 12 hours a day. And after they finish, they have enough material to take with them and to train with somebody at home or teach somebody they know and practice. And this is usually very rewarding for the person who is doing that. One of the principles of Commando Krav Maga is disengage if you can, and if you cannot, then engage and disengage. And this is very important, as opposed to movie-style training. You're going in and finish him and finish him and finish him. In reality, if you have a knife and pull the knife, you're finished. Or if in reality, if you have 4 friends jumping on you, as we demonstrate on this DVD, you're done. So the principle of Commando Krav Maga is engage only if needed and disengage immediately, as you said, and you're right. Law enforcement don't always have the luxury of disengaging, and this is bring us to the top program that we have, which is the SHIELD law enforcement program. This is all about taking control, being able to move the subject from point A to point B, being able to submit him, and being able to control and handcuff him. We started last year when we ran the first program in Florida. We got the best review from the policemen there that they ever gave to any person that came to the school. And everywhere we teach now, we have more and more policemen that said, "This is wow, this is amazing. This is something that we always were looking for." And it's exploding now, as all combat survival do.
That's awesome. Now, as busy as you are right now, I mean, the system is growing. You're extremely busy at the point where now, you can't do everything yourself, and you have the top instructors who are now part of the elite team of helping to instruct. Where do you see, how much more do you see, what's your view, your vision for the future of combat survival?
First of all, let me put a few words about the elite team. Elite team are really the top instructors that we have in the system. I'm very proud of having such a wonderful instructors. Right now we're talking about 8 instructors working with me full-time on teaching courses all over the world. And it's keep growing because we have more and more young blood coming to the system. For me to complete the circle of things, I'm going to develop one more system that's still missing here, which is all about the 2 aspects, is how to have very strong mental power to be able to, function under stress and so forth. And meditation, it's all part of the deal. Things that I usually do to create, strong mind and strong body. I want to bring it to a system that people will be able to take and learn from that. And at that stage, my vision is that pretty much in every country in the world, they will know what combat survival is and benefit from that. Because so far, in a very short 5 years, we already saved so many lives and so many stories of people who are really used to the techniques to survive, which make me very proud. And this is also one of the reasons for my motivation to keep pushing myself and work so hard the way I'm working. We are now in a beautiful place after we finish the shooting. This is the only day off we have.
Now, why did you choose Italy? That's a good question.
Well,
I know Emilio's a very good-looking guy who's right over there, and he's the director of all of Europe, if I'm correct.
He's the director of combat survival in Europe. Is also a very talented level 5 instructor, belong to the lead team. Italy always been wonderful place for me to come. I love the food, I love the people, and I think that after you came the first time to Italy, you agree with me. This is like an ideal place to come. It's not the only place we're going to shoot, but it's definitely one of my favorite. We work very hard for a week. Now we have 1 day off. Tomorrow I'm flying to my next destination, but I'm telling you, it was really one of a hell of experience. Especially, we worked with people that we had no clue how they're going to be as an actor in front of the camera. And look
they
at the
were great.
people.
They were really good.
I mean, you are in movie business yourself.
They were better than some of the guys I've worked with very quickly.
And I think this is one of the reasons is that, it's interesting. We didn't have to take too many takes.
No.
Because in Commando Krav Maga, we train under stress.
Yeah.
And they were supposed to practice under stress. So we almost never had to take a second take,
No,
just for the
really
close-up,
good.
yeah?
I was very, very impressed. Not just that, even stunt-wise. Very quickly, they picked it up. I didn't have to worry as much. Vincenzo, when I picked him up and we have pictures, he's like 6 feet in the air, so he did well. I mean, the fact that, stuntmen get paid a lot of money to do that, it takes a lot of years of practice. And I think because of all the practice that we do in learning how to fall in Commando Krav Maga, it's one of the most important points that we do in Commando Krav Maga, because falling, if you can't fall, you're finished.
Yeah, there is no question about that. I mean, no matter what fighter you are, you can be the world champion in Muay Thai. If you don't know how to fall on cement, you cannot survive. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to be athletic like you and a stuntman like you to be able to do that. Every person can know how to fall, even if you have a issue of bones or back problem. And we teach that. We teach how to safely be able to roll and be able to survive the roll, and that's one of the things. But talking about Vincenzo, you lift him up so easily all the way up. Did you charge him for Air Elan?
No, I should have though, but I don't think he had enough euro.
That's right.
But the one thing I do have to say, the one downfall of Italy is, I went from a 6-pack to a 1-pack.
Great food. There's no question
Food is
about
fantastic. It was really, really good.
Yeah.
And Emilio's a fantastic host. He was fantastic. Just everything was so well organized and done. And I believe that's also part of CKM. It really teaches you how to organize yourself too.
And I have a message for the you guys at home. Those of you who did not have a chance yet to try some of our boot camps, go ahead, go to the website www.commandokravmaga.com or combatsurvival.com and check the boot camps near your area. Come and see how much you can learn in such a short time. It's just amazing. Very intensive, very challenging, mainly mentally and also physically, but after you finish it, it's such an amazing feeling, and you know that now you can protect your loved ones.
Absolutely excellent. One of the hardest things I've been through since Marine Corps.
I think it's great for everybody, yes. But from 16-year-old to the 80-year-old, I think it's great.
The most difficult training I've experienced since military, without question. is continually evolving.
It's the best I've ever done, especially as a female and a little bit smaller than most men. I can do all the same stuff.
I just love this so much, the system and the way the curriculum just flows. It's just so simple, so devastating.
Learn how to deal with adrenaline stress and work under a lot of pressure with non-resistant attackers and in situations that aren't necessarily ideal.
One, two, three, CM!